Welcome to my channel. 1. Chamisa sticks by grace. MDC-Alliance leader Mr Nelson Chamisa's alleged dalliances with the former First Family is understood to be making partners in the coalition uneasy, and there are now real fears that he is planning to ditch them if he wins the July 30th elections. While tensions have been simmering over the double nomination of alliance candidates in some constituencies, which at first was perceived to be accidental, there is now growing suspicion that Mr Chamisa's failure to force his party's candidates, particularly in constituencies reserved for alliance partners, to withdraw 7 days after the sitting of the nomination court on June 14, including reluctance to actively campaign for them, was well choreographed to prop up his MDC-T political formation. Mr Chamisa, who is described by People's Rainbow Coalition (PRC) leader Mrs. Joyce Mujuru as dishonest in an interview with Capital FM on July 2 this year, is now being accused of pivoting his party on the National Patriotic Front, NPF, the former First Family's pet political project, in order to insulate himself from coalition partners. The tensions are now understood to be playing out in constituencies such as Harare South, where NPF candidates, disguised under the MDC-Alliance banner, are pitted against fellow MDC-Alliance candidates. In Harare South, former G40 foot soldier and member of the NPF Mr Shadrach Mashimamba is among the 14 candidates vying to represent the constituency. He is representing MDC-Alliance together with Mr Samuel Saw of Transform Zimbabwe, which had been guaranteed the constituency through the coalition's agreement. In an interview with the Sunday Mail last week, MDC-Alliance spokesperson Professor Welshman Cube, whose MDC party was also robbed of its reserved seats in Matabaland South, professed ignorance on Mr Mashimamba's candidature. The official position of the MDC-Alliance on Harare South is that the seat was reserved for a Transform Zimbabwe candidate. Any other candidate on the list who is not from Transform Zimbabwe does not have the blessing of the Alliance. The Alliance will not recognize someone who was not seconded from Transform Zimbabwe as per the initial agreement, he said. But Mr Mashimamba is sticking to his guns. The list released by Mr Morgan Kamaki is the one indicating that I am the official alliance candidate and I am sticking to that list. I cannot comment further on the issues you have raised. Can you kindly ask Mr Kamaki for more details? I am on the ground campaigning and looking up to heaven for my doors to be opened, and, God willing, I will reclaim the seat, he said. It is the same pattern in all the constituencies that have fielded 2 alliance candidates. In Harare Province, which is considered the opposition party's stronghold, the MDC-Alliance has fielded 2 candidates in Mavukotafra and Harare South. Most notably, in Mavukotafra, where more than 13 candidates are vying for the constituency, Mr James Maridadi will face off with his namesake and fellow party member Mr James Chihakwa. The alliance also fielded 2 candidates in 4 constituencies in Mashonaland Central Province, Mazoe North, Stephen Mushianj and Mkuma and Lovu, Mazoe South, Mr Gift Chimani Kair and Ms Faith Gamuchirai Chakra, Mazoe West, Thamri Chimanzi and Jarana Machihwa, and Mzarbani North, Takawera Agreement Kagura and Lawrence Mushori. And, most absurdly, in Masvingo Province, MDC-Alliance principal Mr Jacob Ngara Transform Zimbabwe, faces the ignominy of fighting it out with fellow alliance member, a Mr Boniface Mudzinwa, in Bikata East. In Guta North, alliance candidates Messrs Juno Manier and Edmore Marantwoods will have a duel with each other before fighting off challenges from candidates from other political parties. But